chant and dance in love of God, we see how the Supreme Lord performed amazing miracles. In the Adi-lila we begin to see how so many become swept up in Lord Chaitanya's kirtan parties. And as he's chanting, people join the chanting, become ecstatic, and it swells to huge crowds. People become immediately overwhelmed with love of God, and gradually Krishna consciousness is spreading and spreading. In this way we see how Lord Chaitanya, his mercy is there from the beginning, but gradually that mercy is unfolding and opening, and gradually his teachings become manifest. And Lord Chaitanya begins to teach the philosophy more and more clearly, instructing Rupa and Sanatan. He performs pastimes at Ratha Yatra and begins to show that mood of virahabhav, that mood of separation. And then gradually, in the final pastimes, Lord Chaitanya begins to show the greatest miracle. He begins to show love of God to its fullest extent. And in this way, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are gradually bringing us deeper and deeper into full ecstatic surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, where it shows that pure devotional service is not just an activity which is where one is giving up all material desires, where one gives up all desires for material enjoyment, where one gives up all hankering for liberation. But he shows that pure devotional service is filled with the greatest ecstasy. Not only a type of ecstasy which is anywhere in the realm of happiness that we know, but where the happiness and ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is bursting out of his heart like bursting out of a volcano, completely uncontrolled. It is said that love of God, when it manifests within the heart, it manifests in transformations within the body. Nanda Maharaj described some of the transformations. But it is said that when love of God is in its initial stages, the devotee can still hide these symptoms. Naturally, a devotee at this state of advancement will be inclined to, out of humility, to hide such symptoms. It is said in the beginning, when love of God first arises, then such love of God is manifesting in the smoking stage, the Dumayita, the smoking stage of devotion, where it is like a smoldering fire within the heart. But in due course of time, that fire becomes more and more inflamed, more and more, until it finally comes to the stage of Sudipta, an intensely blazing fire. And it was like that the love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "My mind is like a horse, and the senses, the five senses, are seated upon this horse, and this horse is just running at full speed towards Radha and Krishna." So, in this way, his Krishna consciousness was way beyond religious principle. It was way beyond even ecstatic devotional service. It was just overwhelming, uncontrolled love for Krishna, which was so strong that it resembled tidal waves. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching. He is step by step teaching. He is teaching from the very beginning by chanting the holy name of the Lord. One can attain the supreme goal. He chanted the holy name and turned to his spiritual master and said, this chanting, what kind of mantra have you given me? This mantra has made me mad. His spiritual master said, you are very fortunate. You are very fortunate. Anyone who achieves that madness is very fortunate. So little by little, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed within his pastimes the full process of Krishna consciousness, and furthermore within his instructions. And in that way, we are commemorating the pastimes, the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And remember what is the true goal of our movement, the true goal of our life. And we realize that it is a very difficult task. How can we follow in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? But other than by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mukham Karudi Vachanam Pangam Nagaite Yad Kripatamam. Then it is possible, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then we can rise above our limitations. And thus, the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is wonderful. It is of the highest quality. It is distributed most widely to the most unqualified, and who can, through that mercy, reach beyond their limitations and actually attain full perfection. Thus, by hearing about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can develop full faith that actually through this process of Harinam Sankirtan, we can attain the full perfection of the spiritual world. Thank you very much. Shri Gaurapuni Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai. I don't know if there are any questions for me, but if there are, then I'll pass them on. Or if there are no questions at all, then a day of no questions. Okay. Then we'll end and take our half-hour break before we continue with the yajna. Thank you very much.